All right, guys, I'm going to talk about something a little bit different today. I'm going to talk about the importance of getting back up. At the moment, we're in an environment which is constantly pushing us down, and there's different ways for different people that pick themselves back up, and I see it from different people. I have two sort of mechanisms. The one is if it's just some crap that's happened, I just take a long sigh, get back up, and just get on with it. The other one is if it's really bad, I'll go and have a load of beer, go to bed, and just think to hell with it. Tomorrow, start again. Yesterday, forget about it. Just write it off, completely written off. And I've had this where people have done stupid stuff, cost me a lot of money, or crashed things, and I've just literally gone to bed and then just like, I don't want to hear about it the following day. Just do not bring it up. I'm moving on. You need to have these resets, and I'll talk about resets, and I'll talk about things like goals and pushing yourself forward and directing and setting yourself out. But part of it is also that ability to just find, how do you rebuild, how do you restart, how do you get away from things that are procrastinating, drawing you down, pulling you down. It could be the darkness that comes with the loss of a partner. It could be the loss financially, bankruptcy, loss of a job, whatever it is, that deep, dark pull down that is sucking the life out of you. Get rid of it. Just get rid of it. And I know the first comment I get, it's easy for you to say. I go through the same crap, guys. I go through the same crap as everybody else. Sometimes I expose myself far more than most. I'm not on about being naked in public, by the way, because I put myself on YouTube. I do stuff to show that it can be done, and then I will get knocked back sometimes because it doesn't all go perfect. And in the same way, I get back up and I keep moving and I keep moving and I keep moving, because that's what works. It's not, oh, it didn't work, oh, I'm going to stop and the world owes me a living. It's a case of, oh, well, what do I need to do? How do I pivot? How do I make it work? I did something wrong somewhere. That's not working. That was a stupid idea, but I can still make the output work. You've got to draw out the negatives and reset them. And yes, we all go through some dark times. We all have bad stuff that happens to us. There's bad stuff that happens to people around us that affect us. There's a lot in our world that can just suck the life out. It can draw you down. It takes you to that point where you've got full emptiness. You feel lost, broken, whatever. But as soon as you're feeling that, reset it. Reset it. That sense of hopelessness, loss, no direction, don't know what to do next. Switch to survival mode. You've got to snap out of it. You've instantly got to go, stop dwelling. Stop dwelling now. You need to do something and take some positive action. And it doesn't always have to be big. Some of it is just making a change. So, for example, it may be a case of you need to, you I don't know, somebody's just died and you need to talk to somebody about it. It may be a case of you got nobody to talk about, so write it down. Write write everything out. Draw it out of yourself. Take the bad stuff out. It may be a case of you want to push it down inside you and forget about it. That's also okay. See, the weird thing is, people will tell you, you must do this, you must do that. That's from this. That's their version. Everybody is not the same. They keep boxing everybody in to try and make everything's this, everything. Shut up. Most of the psychology stuff out there, nearly 90% is by women. So don't tell me women know bloody men. Absolute nonsense. My view is it's all about the circumstance, what it is, how it affects you, how you deal with different things in different ways. You may want to go and get a punch bag or something else and just hammer it out because of you're angry, you're frustrated, you need something to just the suck the hate out. It may be the case of you need something to tire you out because something's hit you hard and you can't let it drop. There is so many different ways of doing it. But the point being is you do not sit in the dark space. You move forward. You find what the solution is. And it's not alcohol, it is not drugs, it is not going down something that pulls you down further. It may be joining the gym, maybe going to a dance class. I don't know. You know, or you don't know, which means you need to find something to move into. You need to change that direction. I remember I was on a coach trip years ago, and everybody on there is a widow. Their partner had died that year. I couldn't do those groups. Why? Because for me, it would be an effect of I'm there because of loss, and they're there for loss, which means every time you have a conversation, it's going to go back to loss. Now, it may work for them, but it couldn't work for me. For me, it would be I accept whatever that loss was, and I need to move on to something else. It may be recognizing I need to spend less time in the same place where that person used to be. It may be a case of need to decorate that room. I need to do something. You would have to find something where you can't dwell. And you will get those moments where you just suddenly go and you just remember them stood there or whatever. I get that. But I couldn't, you know, be part of a community that is all widows and they're all going to want to talk about their situations. I don't like that. For me, it'd be the wrong situation for me. So there you go. I'll just give you an example where I'm completely different to, I don't know how many, 40 odd people on the coach, because they all wanted to be together and they're all going on this coach trip together because the majority of them felt guilty for enjoying themselves. They told me they felt guilty. They were going out for Christmas on a trip with other widowers because they were alone, and their guilt was their partners weren't there and they were enjoying themselves. So you got to bear in mind, not everything's so cut and dry. And I took that one quite a dark one because you got to realize time is not infinite. You're here for a certain amount of time, so you should enjoy and do what you can in this time. In the same way, when you have a negative thing happen, take its experience and something that you learn from, develop from, and you remember. But do not remember it in the bad ways, remember it in the good ways. When you lose people, remember the times together, not the loss. The loss drags you back down to the dark side. You want to keep in the positive side as much as possible. Doesn't mean forget the loss, because you still need to recognize when something takes you down that deep that it draws you down, it pulls you down, and you don't want to be there. You don't want something that triggers you to fall into that. Like I said, you get those moments where you look across and it could be you see your loved one standing by the sink doing something, or You expect them to say something, and they're not there. So, my point being is, you've got to pull yourself back up. You've got to find your way through it. You've got to be the solution, not the problem. And it's not always easy, and it's not always going to work your way. And some days you're just going, I just don't know what the hell I'm going to do. But do not sit there and dwell. You cannot fix it today. You cannot fix it in the next hour. So go to the pub, have a couple of beers. You see, a couple of beers, because the whole point of that is not the alcohol, is to detach from the problem for a few hours as a reset. It could be going for a curry. It could be walking the dog. Whatever it is to get away from the stuff you can't immediately fix and find a reset, and then go, right, my mind's reset, reframed, it's reset. Okay, we've got this problem. Or if it's a catastrophic one, and you come in the next day and just go, right, I'm not even going to talk about that. Moving forward, and you just accept that's gone. You know, it could be somebody just written off your brand new car, and you don't even talk about the car anymore. You just think, right, I need to sort out transportation for this week, because that is going to annoy you. Where if you just think, right, I've got to sort of transportation this week, and you're just moving on to positive focus and problem be a solution rather than something that's unfixable. You just go, right, got to move on. Yeah, so got to get to work this week. I'm not going to take the bus. I'll see if whatever can give us a lift this week until I sort something out. And you'll also find, if you do it this way, I find it anyway, I'm less agitated, less things bother me. You know, I it's very rare I get angry these days. I mean, when I was much younger, I was quite aggressive when I was quite young. I had no problem fighting anybody. Well, these days I still don't have any problem fighting with anybody. I just can't be bothered. I look at most things in life and just go, yeah, whatever. I'm past all that crap. Right. Anyway, don't let anything pull you down. That's the key. Thanks for watching.